Njengamanje sengivele ngaba muhle nje ngoba kunomuntu omuhle eceleni.
Ngiyathanda futhi uphinde ngibingelele bakithi Nkosi.
Uqale sopresident.
Yes. Ngiyathanda uzilungile i-makeup. Yeah. So ngithanda ukuthi ngiphinde ngibingelele siphinde futhi sibonge ithuba njengoba sikhona la nomuntu engisebenza naye uphaka ithuba siyabonga kakhulu ngoba siyazi ukuthi manje isikhathi sa December samaholidi isikhathi esiningi abantu basuke sichitha nomndeni wabo but ke ukusipha leli thuba elincane ukuthi sikhulume ngalezi zinto lezi because ziyi-part of imisebenzi it's really making change emphakathini. Kahle kahle into esihlanganele namhlanje sihlanganele kona ukukhuluma nge-development community action plan based on alcohol harms and alcohol abuse from ama-teenagers. Igama lami mina nguLungi, ngiqhamuka ka-United Kaya Women for Life movement in partnership with UN Women no-SACBC.
Okay.
So njengoba ngichazile ukuthi sikhuluma ngophuzo oludakayo ebantwaneni abancane, especially ama-teenagers, adolescents, even nje i-youth at large. So we have discovered that one of the studies that was done by Kids Health found that people who are regularly having 5 or more drinks in a row starting at the age of 13 were much more likely to be overweight or have a high blood pressure by the age of 24 than their non-drinking peers. So people who continue drinking heavily well into adulthood risk managing their organs such as liver, heart and brain. So this thing, it might not be part of entertainment or just a child's play, but it also plays a crucial role in destroying health ya abantwana. So why do we find the abantwana at the age of 13 years involve themselves in alcohol harms or alcohol abuse? So according to the government, there is a number of factors that influence a teenager starts drinking. I will mention a few, and then we would like to hear your view or your point of view on it. And as a religious leader, you will also take us through, maybe in terms of the roles that you are playing regarding these issues, or if not, what are the things that you would like to see happening, or roles that you can take as a religious industry based on this challenge. So one of the factors is that parents are bad role models when it comes to their children nowadays. When we say that, it's because of the lack of parental skills. We have found that many young kids are involved with alcohol because of the fact that other parents find it okay, especially since it's a festive season, to buy alcohol for their children, or even if not buying, when they find that their children are drinking, they still feel it's okay. It's more like a fashion norm. Other parents also have forgotten strong cultural values. I might not really say what actually are, but the fact that maybe a cultural value has been forgotten can make our parents to lack parental skills. Another factor will be the fact that we understand that young person's social identity is often molded by their social peers or group and their desire to be part of the crowd. So peer pressure plays a massive factor whether or not a person will engage in a risky behaviors. So one of the things will be peer pressure from their peers, that some of them are doing it and they find it fashionable to do as well. That alcohol is easy to access. There are lots of shippings, illegal and taverns around the locations, and that alcohol itself is cheap. The last factor will be social media and other advertisement outlets. So alcohol is socially acceptable, fairly cheap and easy accessible too. So advertising and marketing and social media outlets also plays an influence factor, mostly to show drinking is more on a favorable light. So are the social media and training alcohol advertisements to play for teenage drinking? So based on your understanding and all the factors that I have mentioned, what can you say, Mr. Ntshangase?
Firstly, say thank you for inviting me to be interviewed about the issues that are giving us a lot of problems and taking away the future of our beloved youth. So my name is Reverend Ntshangase, the son of Zion, under the anointing of Bishop KT, which is Apostle KT Mkize from Hammersdale, Mount Zion. And I am one of the pastors in the ministry. And within Umgungundlovu district, I am the chairperson of Interfaith. Interfaith is the religious sector. So I'm the chairperson of Umgungundlovu district Interfaith Forum that covers under Umgungundlovu the 7 local municipalities, which is Umsunduzi, Umkambati, Umngeni, Umshwati, Impofana, Richmond, and Umshwati, Umkambati. Yes. So those 7 municipalities, but not chairperson. Uma local.
Yes.
Which is Umsunduzi. Let me make an example of Umsunduzi, because Umsunduzi is the biggest out of all 7 municipalities. Umsunduzi have 41 wards. All of 41 wards, they put them fraternaries.
Yes.
So about under Interfaith or chairperson. So we should hear chairperson we fraternal or reporter or chairperson Umsunduzi desk.
Okay.
Then or chairperson Balama local or they report Ntshangase, of which the number of abefundis abangaphansi komgungundlovu, we executive, we are 35. So lo 35 will cover the 7 municipalities. And then basically amawadi, 14, 12, 10, 15, 21, and then the biggest is Umsunduzi. So our main focus is this. City as abefundis, what are we doing? Because uNkulunkulu uma esithembile and esibizile, because even amongst us we are different, and we are different, because there are those who are called and there are those who call themselves in the religion. So it's a topic for another day. But now into it, what are we doing? Because it's their face. And when a 10, 11, 12-year, 13-year-old child consuming alcohol and drugs, yet we need to start building youth. Because even our ministries, we've got structures.
Yes.
What I preach to them as a person who specialized in church development in the end of it. Thank God. It was not I'm running away from the pulpit, but I saw it fit because of the interest. I'm an activist in the community, and that developed to what you know. Let me not sit behind the pulpit. Let others who've got a passion or who've got a calling. Because each and every person so I mean I specialize with development. Yet when I get an opportunity to stand behind the pulpit, I ask God to give me a message and I deliver. Okay. But now into eating to the interfaith, where I'm the chairperson, and the Umgungundlovu municipality, interfaith as Umgungundlovu, I'm the coordinator. I coordinate. Okay. All right. It's into your corner. As we've got structures, what are those structures doing? Those structures in the interfaith are divided. We've got the sector of, as you see in the parliament, we've got MECs. We've got the sector that deals with young women. We've got a sector that deals with a young man. We've got a sector that deals with an orphanage. I mean widows. Sorry, widow. Okay. We've got the sector that deals with men. We've got a sector that deals with senior citizens. So when we say senior citizens, we put them together, men and women.
Yeah.
Right. Those are senior citizens. Then this is over the disability sector. That deals with people who are living with disability. It's one that I'm saying, or youth. There's a youth sector. Youth, it's men and women, the young men, yes, we've got that. So all those 7 structures you see now is one that I'm missing. Yeah, my followers.
We do.
Oh yes. All our structures now are called. I know coordinators, no chairperson, no secretary.
Yeah.
Understand? People who are dealing with that. And what we do, as we have divided ourselves, city, let's go back to our constituencies in our churches and start that. We are building the future, and what we are doing moral and generation.
Yeah.
Moral and generation.
Yes.
Okay, the best. Right. Those structures, as our leaders are, what you need to do, you need to have those structures, as if God is going to interfere. Let me take an example. Umgungundlovu. Umgungundlovu, as a convener, as a coordinator, I mean to say, the convenience one the same thing. I made sure these people are laid down the structures. I meet now 4 times a year. Okay, 4 times a year. But if there is something that is ancient, but in interfaith, every second month. Every second month. So if it's every second month, it's in 12 months, so it will meet 6 times. But if one is this agent, I call an agent meeting. Right. Coming to the point of the young ones. We have decided the best thing to do, let's have games. Participate. Let's have classes. Umfundisane ukuthi umuntu wesifazane ubehave kanje. Umuntu wesilisa wenza kanje.
Yes.
And kulama structures, kunama men's sector.
Yes.
Uchi, wena muntu wesilisa, wena mfana omncane. Also figure with age, and kunama ages.
Yes.
From 0 to 6, from 7 to 12, from 12 to 16, from 16 to 21, from 21 to 26. Then you get from 26 to 35. Bonke labo bantu basafola as teenagers, as youth, and
Yes.
Yes. So you need to control them strategically. Ubafundise ukuze benze izinto eziright. Sakhani na sakha isizwe. There is time when we preach the word of God, bona. Okay. There is time where we socialize. The easiest way to socialize with them, be we age up, understand things as in Zagalai. Commit yourself kulezo zinto strategically. Yabo ukuthi okay fine. Ukuze ngimnande loya kulama drugs asayicommit kuwona. What must I do? Understand? So ke ilezo zinto enjalo esizenza emabandleni kulawo structures akhona. And it's working.
Wow.
The other thing, we visit schools as pastors. We've got timetables, which this week I visit as SOBANTU now 3 schools, is lower primary and high primary and secondary school. Okay, high school. So we've got pastors of ages. As a youth pastor, I deploy you. As a senior pastor or as an elder who understands things, I deploy you. So that we do that. And we also visit clinics. We also visit hospitals. We also visit the municipalities. We ask the office of the mayor, give us time so then sizokwazi to do the preaching during lunchtime, during the time magama events, call us in, we pray before we start the event. There's a lot of things. The good thing about Interfaith is that it's well recognized by our government. Interfaith, we've got more than 16 religions. So all those 16 religions, that is recognized by our government. All in all, that is recognized. It's 26. But 16 governments say we are going to recognize these religions. The reason being covers everything. But when we have openings of parliament, there are 6 prayers conducted, which is Muslim, Jewish, African tradition, indigenous, and the Christian religion and Rastafari. So those 6, you wanna have prayer. Sometimes we are alternate. Okay. But coming to the point, we've discovered girls are now drinking like their fathers, and they are doing it more than what you can think. So we are saying to people who are running taverns, give us an opportunity to come in and talk to them. Some of the people, especially the seniors and the older ones, they're not there just because Baba pose. It's because of frustrations. The very same child with peers, it's because looking at the fight between mom and dad, uncle and aunt, granny and in the house, then I'm going to, what more than I can do? Let me go there and enjoy myself and drink. So we're eating into alcohol. Eating. We as pastors, as fivefold ministry, we are called. let's do what you are called for. Let's preach the word to the young ones. Let's group them into groups. Let's tell them what is wrong, what is right. Because they are concentrating more on izinto ezibheke bona, not abantu abazalwane. Making an example, you know, if a pastor says abantu bami, there's something wrong about that person. Because sonke singabantu bakaNkulunkulu. Yabo. So kufanele umbheke lo muntu. Why is abantu bami? Bona bakaNkulunkulu. Is he doing it right? And another thing that I didn't mention, we interfaith with screen people. They were screening. Ubani baba wakhe, as you heard me introduce myself. My father is Bishop KT. So if unendo wrong against that, you will know. And it will matter the entire ministry. So that is why kubalulekile ukuthi uma umholi bekhona la urukutsha khona. Ngoba ingane ngenabazali iziningi izinto wrong ezenzayo. Lena ithi asiqoqe ingane. Sinama in a calendar. Sinama activities esiwenzayo as we interfaith, where we visit schools, where we create our games, magnama sports, kunama events, kunanana. We go there and support. Go there, we motivate. So the only thing that can bring a youth to build a future leaders of tomorrow is to start now. For government, this is we leave no one behind.
Yeah.
So we need to do that. But it's because together we can make it. So I've got these slogans that I always say, which keep on praying. Don't lose focus. Together we can. But starting with hashtag keep on praying, hashtag together we can, hashtag let's bring back the image of our beloved community. The only way to bring back the image is to teach the right thing to the young ones. So like now it's still early. So come 2024, we've got programs that we are going to be embarked on. Those programs, we can work together as we interfaith.
Yes.
With you guys, we can work together and say, this event, let's take it to this area, let's do it this way, you know, because we are in moral regeneration. We've got our events at the Swens, and we've got a lot of things, as is in Zealand. So we're now 2021 up to 2023. Yeah. So we now longer these things, cultural things, and coming to culture, as we interfaith, we've got Umama Dr. Ngobeso. She's teaching the young girls which men I
yeah.
So those are the things as we interfaith into. So what can stop you as a woman to change the image of that child? There's nothing. But it needs you, who's missing. Anything wins that. We end the into that's what I'm doing. Because I know the source is my God, is my provider. He will provide everything for me. That's the gospel that I preach. Let's do it for the benefit of our future generation. Because if we are not looking in each generation,
So now, Ntshangase, I want to ask something as leaders of a ministry, leaders of a religion. You are parents as well. So when we talk about a lack of parental skills, what are the things that you are doing in church in terms of motivating parents into how they can groom their children? I do understand it's not like you will tell a parent this is how you have to raise your child, but what are the encouragement that you give parents in terms of raising their kids? Because the lack is also lies with parents. There's also parts where there's a carelessness in terms of how we make an example. As parents, we're just thinking because it's a different time, we are living in a different generation and stuff. Maybe I used to go to school without a lunch or maybe without even money to carry, but that's not going to happen with my children. Because I can afford, maybe my child is using 60 rand for transport, but I decide to give him 100 rand. So there's this lot of unmonitored allowance within children. They find themselves having a lot of money. They don't even know what to use it for. And the fact that parents are not even monitoring what that money is used for, you find that they start engaging themselves, feel like I've got enough to buy alcohol. I've got enough to buy drugs. So do you have structures that also deals with family structures within the religious organization? Now we understand the problems that are happening with the youth and the young children, but now how about parents as well? Because we need to bridge the gap. Because when we start talking about underage drinking, the first people that we look at is the parent. How can a child even start drinking? That means the parent is something wrong that is doing. Is there a way where you bridge the gap between the two? Now I sit with your child, I tell them, you know, this is wrong. When you start drinking at this age, you are undefining your body. These are the risks that you are. So now they are learning something from me. But then when they get home, it's not like the mother or the father will also be preaching the same way. So it's more like there's a miscommunication.
All right. In that, what you do, as I said, structures.
Yeah.
Right. We've got people who specialize in some things. Okay. This is what we do. When abantu abayithu bashadisa, we preach the word to love, especially a man. Most of SOBANTU, you take them to a counseling. Counseling shows Lisa, okay, Umgungundlovu akushoyo umuntu wesilisa ekumele akwenze. Kuba owesifazane naye kunjani. But if lezo zinto siqala la, if lezo zinto zikhona beyilandela imiyalelo kaNkulunkulu ngokomshado wabo, that family ihlala ekukhoneni kukaNkulunkulu. Because iBhayibheli lithi iBhayibheli khulisa umntwana ngendlela ayoyithokozela ebudaleni bakhe. In a way, I used to say, mina mangishadisa ngithi owesithatha kangeni emshwadweni, imvini umntwana limzala akangeni ngoba ngizomkhulisa ngendlela ayoyithokozela ebudaleni, then uyobe sephila impilo yakhe. Ukuze umfundise kahle umntwana, fundisa ama-values and principles ukuyiphatha kahle. Coming to the point yokuthi yes, ingane zethu siyayithanda. Yes, we can afford. Some of us cannot afford. But we affordability yakho, check ukuthi imali oyinikeza ingane iyenzani. In a way, iba ne-follow up njengomzali. If umntwana wakho spenda 45 rand for traveling to and from schooling, then 55 rand wasn't doing. If for snacks, okay, about 25 rand. Let 20 rand on that. Understand? So you need as a parent, not 30 rand on that. You need as a parent to make sure ukuthi ingane yakho ikhonekthekile. Have a communication notisha esikoleni. If unomalume transport, make sure ukuthi transport imthathe 18 imdrope 18 esikoleni, from esikoleni 18 imdrope ekhaya. Okay? Kule mali omnikeza yona kosusuke uyithengile lezinto. Why don't you as umzali buy the almost next take things momfakela with provision yakhe bese umnikeza 50 rand to carriage or 20 rand. Okay? Uma kukhona okunyanga kufuka. But if umzali ungakwazi ukuyimonitor ingane yakho nokwazi ukuthi ingane nayo yini homework nayo homework, wena mzali uyayibulala leyo ngane because izokwenza izinto. And another thing, if wena umzali wenza noma yini noma kanjani ekhaya ingane yabo, remember the children of today, they're like instant camera. Instant camera, you take a picture, it's on. And ingane make ibuka into it's recorded. Izofuna one time we taste, because each time baba nomama benza nje kuba nokuthi. Yabo? Mabenza kanje kuba nokuthi. Kuwesike when you fight ingane zikho. You're destroying the child. Because ibullying iqala kanjalo naseykoleni. Ngoba ingane izofuna ukuyitesta lento akade ukubaba eshama kudebris ekenduma. Naye itshela ukuthi umuntu wesifazana ukusithwa kanje. Those are the things esifundisa abafana. Yabo? And there's this program, take a boy child to teach him and take him to a Greenland. A Greenland it's to make him to understand what in life in Jim. Understand? So again, take a girl child. If take your girl child. Take her and teach her what a Greenland would be. Let me make an example now. Mina nginabafana uNkulunkulu angusisa ngawo engazange ngibapolice ngibe ne chance yokuhlala because ngangiphila impilo engangiphila at that time. They didn't know ukuthi nginabafana. But the time ngazi ngavula amehlo ngaqala. Fortunately baphila emakhaya right. But in terms of uNkulunkulu mayengibusisa ngendodakazi, unfortunately mawayo washeshwa ishi. Okay. Ngafunda lapho ukuthi umuntu wesifazane ukhuliswa kanjani, assisted by my sister, aunts, my mom, granny, and everybody, and the women ababe around me. Yabo, ngakwazi ukuthi umntwana wentombazana from this age to this age fanele kube kanje, from this age to this age fanele kube kanje. As a result, my daughter was very attached to me than anybody else. From the age of 2. Where's Manhambumawa, Cosmawa, and a trees? Where's it from there? Because what Kula has which Baba is the one. So I managed to open food this and understand the things of this Fazane. I channeled her right. Ngafunda lapho when ngibana bafana nomfana I did the same thing. That's when I said, no, I need to take him to a Greenland. Fortunately, both of them. Now, taking it from me, but bengazi umuntu omdala mayiqhamuka ngilento engenzayo yeyeka onyathasha. Thina umjolo esikhule kuona la eSOBANTU besihamba siya ngale esikoleni kokhokho sekukhokho baba besihamba siya ngale siyocasha khona masihamba namantombazane esikole uhambe nabo nihambe kodwa ungabonakali ukuthi umuntu wami ngoba nihamba negroup mase ukuthi fanele novalelisana sihamba ngomawumawu ukuthi mawumawu kokhokho Yabo. Masuzofika ngakubo kufanele uyaqalaza before uthatha ukeys. Yabo. Ezidana namhlanje. They don't do that. The reason being teaching ekhaya. Ibalulekile ukuthi sinanga abazali give yourself time. Sithini kumadoda. Sithi indoda iba nesikhathi sokuhlala nomndeni wakho. Isikhathi sakho sasethaveni asincane. If mangabe ukuthi into exosha ekhaya uxosha uvuka sikhuluma, make sure ukuthi you spend more time nezingane unovuka sikhuluma. But into edala kube njalo, it's because there's something was shifting edona. uNkulunkulu wathi madoda thandani umkini njengalokhu uNkulunkulu uthandile. Wathi makhosikazi thobelana madoda. So mangabe umuntu wesifazane engasatholi sekuyena osithandayo uyaphambana le. Ugcina wesilisa njani ethotho. So ke sibuyisa ke ama values endodeni. Sithi imeli authority uNkulunkulu akubeka akunikeza yona. Iba indoda. Have time with your kids. Azi ukuthi ingane zakho zenzani. Okay? Nyekelo okutraumatizer ofevorishwa na government ngoba kuthiwa iabuse phela and ethi amadoda doing this and that and that. Akaze kuthiwe bantu besifazane okanye bahambe beyobheka ukuthi yini le yenza le ndoda ibesilwane kanje. Yabo. So ke leyo nto ihamba ngezinganeni bese bekubullying bayibona ngathi it's a fashion. Understand? So ke bese yayitest bese yayenza. So that to cut the long story short, it's into your corner. Ukuze sibe ne future right yengane. Let's come back to Nsangase. Let's come back to mama structures and talk about izinto ezenzakalayo ezweni saphile lo. Ngoba once we do that, yabuya ubuntu. Yabo uyavuka unembeza. Siyabuya isithunzi somuntu kaNkulunkulu. Ukuthi ngingubani mina? Ikuphi efanele ngikwenze. Yabo. So coming to that, which is a topic for another day. Uthando ubalulekile. Ngoba iBhayibheli lithi sibekela yona. Uma mina ngikuthanda mamthembu. Fanele ngithande njengoba unje. Konke ngikwenza ngani uthando. Engi-expectayo kuwena mamthembu njengendoda. It's a respect and submission. Uma ungrespect usubmit to me. Ayikho into engangenza ukuthi ngikuthande. Leyo nto ingane ziyayibuka la endlini. Maziyibuka ingane la endlini. Siyayi-adopt. Uba ne-family right together. Mabephuma behamba. Labanye baba yi-example ngaphandle. Nazi ingane zasemkazini. Siyabona ingane zikamamthembu uyazibona. Ayibafundisile lapha. So ke akwenzekile lokho okwenzakalayo ngoba engathi ngizaphinga ngikhathini. So mina what do I teach ingane makuhleli na? Ngithi my homework engikunikeza yona. Hambani ngifunda la book of Proverbs. From chapter 1 to the last chapter. And then ubuye uzongixoxela ukuthi yini oyitholiwe. Because the book of Proverbs yamqoqa umuntu yambuyisa. Because when uNkulunkulu meqala indodana yami, irrespective of a man or a woman, because there's no gender. Gender, I mean to say there's no gender. In a language, so that people understand. I need to change. Umuntu methi umntwana wami. Ingoba wavuma ngomlomo wakho to imposters. So ke uma ngase thina as religious senza sikwenza namanye ama-alliances engena njengoba sinama-alliance akhona under Interfaith. Sinodamase ngiyahlala befundisa, sino-pastors fraternals, sinobani. Bonke labo when we sit as an executive 4 times a year, siyaba-invite bonke, sihlale wenzeni kwi-constitution because constituency yabo. Like now we are true for ama-reports. Bengibabizile nje last week. Now this week postpone meeting yakhona. Today postponing mhla ka 9. We need to bring our reports. Ukuthi ngo 2023 senzeni bengwafuna manje before so ngizokwazi compile one report engizokwazi ukusubmit ku national office. Okay. Into yakhona ithi we've got parliament labefundisi. Iparliament labefundisi lihlanganise konke lokho. There's a parliament leyingane. There's parliament labesifazane. Okay, there's a parliament lama senior citizens with disability. Kade leyogcina nje ke disability kade likhona. Behlangene. We were invited to there. Siyoxoshela ukuthi benzeni benzani. So the very same thing eyenzakala was sibuyise ubuntu ingane zethu. Let's teach them while they are young. Do you know what this time ingane ena 2 years you can start teaching your training. Logo I discovered in 1988 when my daughter, she was 2 years. She told me what happened about her. I couldn't believe it. But ngoba kangazi ukuthi what was her favorite drink. Okay. But ngangazi ukuthi wengaphuza lento bese kwenzakala. My daughter told me the story. You know? Then I started from there. But ngosizwe inkosi. Okusemuva. Ngoba sengipheke okuphambili. uNkulunkulu angenzelamo. So that the very same thing we can change ingane zethu. Sifundise indlela yokuphila neyokuhamba. You know ukuthi kunabantwana abangena babazali who are orphans. Ngeke ngaya institution la I was surprised. Indlela abafundiseke ngakhona. Ilabo abantu abala babafundisana. Yes, ngeke ngaba kuleyo environment during the time we funded my Bible college and then the orphanage yakhona. I didn't have that experience. But the last day was 2022. Yes, 2022 when I visited one of the orphanage. Gabon did something different. Ayenziwa already just said. Okufundisa ingane. This is a good thing. So if Jehovah give 135, we can apply that. Then the sibonayo ngaphandle lezingane ingeke. Because like now, kuneyingane esisibizwa ngamagama.
Yeah.
I don't want to call those names. Ebizwa ngamagama. Umuntu kaNkulunkulu lo udinga ukuthi uhlale phansi because kune problem emphiphile amenza kwenza lokho. So ke eyotshwala lezo zo 3 matrasi. As a parent, as a religious person, I'm starting teaching the ministry. Ukuze ingenzeki lento esibuka ngapha. Okay. 2, when I love my child, I must know it's not only my child, it's my neighbor's child. Because circulating at your child is my child. Okay, so I must also know that. My figure cry, it's unshayile umamphisa, unshayile umamtheni. Angathi mina ngijwayela kahle buwenza as akushaya because bengeke akushaya umuntu engimaziyo uphilayo avela akushaya nje. Yabo, those are the things efanele sikhande. And ukuthanda ingane ngokweqile isona uNkulunkulu. And uyayibulala leyo ngane, bulala ifuture yayo. So you need to make sure ukuthi uma ithanda ingane ithande phela mazikhona ezinye akulingani. Yabo, okusithatha okugcina mayelana nengane ifuture yethu kudinga ukuthi mina ihlale phansi nayo ingane. Must have time as umzali ihlale phansi nayo ingane. Washintsha manje performance yakho kwenzakalayo. Ulingane nayo. Hayi ngoba ulingane nayo so that uzo understand. Ube open enganeni. Khona izokwazi ingane ngikusabi.
Yeah.
Ikuhloniphe.
Yeah.
Because ingane once yakusaba kuzobe yini.
Yeah.
Yabo. Ingane ayithi mayingekho ekhaya kube ngathi kwabe yambona uma yambona. Ngoba ngifundiswe ekhaya ukuthi nansi indlela yokuphila. Uma singakwazi ukuthi siyibambe kanjani, as we are trying thina religious, we are trying our best to change the atmosphere, to bring back the image you move. Simsondeze kuNkulunkulu.
So, uma sengigoqa baba Ntshangase, lento lesingasho ukuthi njengamanje as the chairperson we Interfaith, as a religious leader, a pastor, you are saying the Interfaith is already on this thing, is already working on the challenge because we are aware with this challenge. They have different structures from the highest level, the straight to the local and into ama churches as well, whereby you work and have programs ahlukene with the youth and the young kids to address these issues, and not only with the children, you also do the same when it comes to family structures, like in parenting, whereby you bridge the gap with as much as programs, but also as parents, this is the role that you have to play. And you also gave us three that we can work on right now. And I like the fact that when you were mentioning, I think it was the second one, it's more like you were saying, let's go back to our roots. Things that were happening back then, if they worked for us, it can work now. So the things that we need to do is that we teach our children to value life, not only for themselves, but also for others. And also when parents are raising their children, not only for themselves, but also for others. So that's when we come and that we have to be friendly enough to our children, and so that they can respect us, but not to be afraid of us. I cannot thank you enough. We have come to the end of our interview. Thank you so much, Baba Ntshangase, for the beautiful interview and the word of wisdom that you have given us, and the time that you have made during this time of a festive season where you could have been spending time with your family, but you gave us your time. Thank you so much.
Yes. So the last thing that I want to say, don't let your past rob your future.
Thank you.
Parenting to a child, it's very important. Don't let the past rob your future. Once you allow that, you have destroyed yourself, you have destroyed the future of your child. So if you want to do good, be a good parent, make sure what you teach our values, to pray, to read the word. Everything we always show what a future could be bright, and you always show what wherever you go, what you are. Hey, if you so those are the things that finally see install our values in.
That's it for me.
With you.
And with you.
And have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Let's work together to make sure we break.
The stigma. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Baba Ntshangase.